Okay. Yeah, this was a numerical what we were solving it in the last class, and I think there were a lot of doubts in yesterday's class. So what I will do is I will just explain the numerical once again, so that students who are still not clear with the numerical, they will get an idea. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So the first thing is that for this given numerical, the question is we have to find Vx and V naught. And for Vx and V naught, they have already given the polarity. Okay. So they have given a random value. Okay. So it's not like whatever they have given is correct, especially the voltage drop part. So the sources will be exactly correct as what they have given. But if they are mentioning any voltages across any particular element, okay. So say for example, for this case, for the 10 ohm, they are giving Vx with plus minus polarity this way, and for the 5 ohm, they have given the polarity this way. Okay. So only after we compute the values, we will come to know whether the polarity, whatever they have given is correct or not. Okay. Sometimes it may be correct, sometimes it may be, it has to be the opposite. So right now we do not have an idea, but the question what they have asked is, we have to find this total voltage, these two voltages, Vx as well as V naught. Okay. So even we do not know whether the polarity what they have taken is correct or not. So for that, what we have to do is, we have to apply the KVL, estimate the value of Vx and V naught, and then come to the conclusion whether the reference polarity, whatever they have given, is correct or not. Okay. So that we need not worry. If at all, if they have given a reference polarity, we can just go with that in the numerical, and depending on the answer, if the answer is positive, then the reference polarity what they have given is correct. If not, the polarity has to be opposite. That's it. Okay. So now for solving this problem, what I will do is, maybe I'll just use a blackboard approach, and I'll just try to solve that. Okay, so for this numerical, okay, so we are having this as a circuit, right? Ten ohm, and there is a dependent source. It's a voltage dependent voltage source, right? Vx, and here we are having 5 ohm. Okay, so how we have to write the KVL is that, so basically KVL tells us the voltage drop. It is nothing but it is a sum of voltages in a closed loop. Okay, so here we are having a single loop, and across this loop, if we go, we can we will be getting different voltages, and if we are summing them together, the total voltage should be equal to 0. Okay, so that is the basics of the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So now, right now, we are having two sources where voltages are already defined, and we have two resistances, 10 ohm and 5 ohm, where the voltages are not given. Okay. So what we have to do is, we have to compute what is the voltage drop across each of the passive elements and then proceed. Okay. And as I told you, the convention, what we have to follow is, say for example, if there is any resistor R, okay, and if a current is flowing through that particular resistor R, normally, since resistance is a passive element, always there will be a voltage drop across it. Okay, always there will be a voltage drop across it. So if you are having a current passing through this resistance, after the current of this resistance, there will be a voltage drop across this resistance. Okay, so the voltage drop, the polarity, what we have to follow is, the part where the current is entering has to be positive, and the part where the current is leaving has to be negative. Okay, so that is a default convention we will be following. When the can you hear me now? I think there's a disconnection in between.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So when okay, fine. So when a current is flowing through a resistance, there will be a voltage drop. Okay, so the point where the current is entering the node has to be positive, and the point where it is coming out has to be negative. Okay, so for this particular case, we can write voltage is equal to I into. Okay. If there is a lag between what I'm showing on the screen and what is appearing, I will just give a pause. Okay. Okay. I think now it's coming. Okay, so for a passive element, when there is a current flowing through the passive element, there will be a voltage drop across it. Okay, so the point where you are entering is positive and the point where you are coming out is negative, and this represents a voltage drop. Okay, so we can write the voltage across this resistor to be I into R. Okay, so this is a default convention. Okay, so now this concept we will apply for this particular loop also. So in a loop, we know that the current flowing through a loop will be always the same. Okay, so if you are considering a loop, we can see that all the elements are connected in series. So the same current flows through all the elements. Okay, that is a fundamental of the series connection. All the elements are in series, so the same current flows through them, which we can take it as I. Okay, so now with this, we are going to write the KVL equation. Okay. So now the reference approach what I am following is I will go along the loop, and the terminal from where I am coming out, I will take the polarity of that particular terminal. Okay, so starting with the 70 volt, so we are coming out of the plus terminal when we are going in the direction of the current. Okay, so it will be plus 70. Okay, plus 70. And coming to the 10 ohm resistor, see, current is flowing through the resistor, there will be a voltage drop, right? So current, the reference polarity for the voltage will be, where it is entering it will be plus, and where it is leaving will be minus. Okay, so I can see that where we are leaving it is negative, so I will take it as 10I. Okay, so that is the please mute yourself. There are a few students who have not muted themselves. Please mute, because otherwise there will be a background noise. Sai Tanish. Okay. Fine. So for the first term it is 70, and for the second term there is a voltage drop. Okay, so it has to be minus 10I. Then for the third element we are having 2Vx, and actually when we yes. Sorry.
There's a lag, I guess. You wrote already minus 10I and it's not showing here.
Yes, it's not showing, but still I think I can explain. You can just listen to that, because there is a lag today, a lot of lag today. But yeah. And so it has to be minus 10I. Okay, minus 10I. Then for the dependent voltage source, we are coming out of the negative terminal, so it has to be minus 2Vx. Okay, we are coming out of the negative terminal, so it has to be minus 2Vx. That is for the third element. Okay, and for the fourth element, we are having a resistive element. Okay, so there will be definitely a voltage drop when we pass through this particular element. So the point where the entering will be positive and the point where it will be negative. Okay, because always in a resistor, when we go along the direction of the current, there will be a
Ma'am, your voice is also not audible, ma'am.
Not audible, ma'am, your voice.
Okay, I think there's a disconnection in the meeting. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so now coming to the third element, it is we are coming out of the negative terminal, so it is minus 2Vx. And for the fourth element, you can see that when the current is passing through this 5 ohm, okay, so it means that the polarity will be the point where it is entering has to be positive and the point where it is coming out has to be, since we are coming out of the negative terminal, it has to be minus 5i. Okay, so that should be equal to 0. Minus 5i should be equal to 0. So this is the first equation.
Excuse me.
We are assuming a current and we are giving a random direction for the current because we do not know, because there are source dominating or the 2Vx is dominating. Okay, so initially we can assume one particular direction of current. Okay, and the same current has to flow through all the series element. Okay, and when we are writing the KVL equation, always go in the direction of the current, and the reference polarity is from the terminal where you are coming out, take as the polarity of that particular voltage. Okay, so
Hello,
for the
ma'am.
case of 10
Ma'am.
minus 10i, yes.
Ma'am, if we take the write the KVL equation the other way, then it will be plus 5i.
If you are writing it in the other way, wherever I have plus you and vice versa.
Sorry, ma'am, I didn't get you.
See, if you are going with the opposite, if you are going with the polarity of the element from where you are entering, you will just get the of this equation. But since the right hand side is 0, it will not make any impact, right?
Ma'am, so the minus 5i will remain the same.
It will not remain the same, no. Your question is, you are going in the opposite direction, or what is the question? Can you repeat?
Yes, ma'am. If we go in the opposite direction, like if the current enters from the negative terminal, minus 70i.
In that case, like wherever you are having plus here, you will have negative there. And wherever you are having negative here, you will have the plus there. But still the equation will be the same, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, so in the 5 ohm resistor, we're just going to disregard the polarities that they've given in the question and just put plus and minus.
Yes, yes.
Sure.
Later we will take into account the polarity whatever they have given. Okay. So first when you are writing the first equation,
we have to take what plus for the entering side.
because that is a convention I am following.
Okay.
I'm taking into consideration the polarity from where we are leaving that particular circuit element. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now, so this is
Ma'am?
the first equation, and this equation has got two unknowns, but we are having only single equation. Given loop, we can write only one KVL equation, right? So with the two unknowns, we cannot solve the values. So we have to get the at least one relation between this Vx and I. Okay, so for that we will make use of the circuit again. Okay, so in the circuit, what they have given, the voltage drop across. So I will just remove this I here right now. Okay. So in the question, what they have given us, this is Vx, okay, and this is V naught.
Ma'am?
Okay, and this is the direction of the current I.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, so can we neglect the polarity which they mentioned in the question, ma'am? Like for V0, we took.
See, let me complete. Then you will understand. Okay. So first is we are fixing a direction of current and we are writing the equation based on the concept. Now they have already given a polarity and we have to take into consideration that also for solving the equation, because right now we are having a single equation with two variables which we cannot solve. We can neither find Vx nor we can find I. So for that we require at least one more equation. So for that we will make use of the polarities whatever they have given. Okay. Now you see here for the Vx part, the polarity of Vx and the polarity what we have considered are exactly the same, right? For the 10 ohm resistor. So if you observe the 10 ohm resistor, the polarity what we have considered when the current is flowing through that, polarity what they have given, both are correct. So we can directly write Vx is equal to 10 times I. Okay, Vx is equal to 10 times I because the polarities are exactly matching. Whereas, okay, so Vx is equal to 10I. So that will be equation number 2. As for the V0 part, the polarity what they have given in the numerical and the polarity what we have assumed with respect to the current directions are opposite. So what we have to do is we have to write the polarity what they have given is opposite to that of what we are following. So we have to write it as V0 is equal to minus 5I. Okay, V0 is equal to minus 5I. Because for the 5 ohm resistor, the voltage drop as per the convention what we are taking and what they are, right? V0 is equal to minus. Whereas for Vx, the polarity what they have given and our polarity are the same. Are you able to understand now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now what we can do is we can substitute the second equation in the first equation. So replace Vx with 10I. So we will have a single equation with a single unknown. So we can easily find I. And once we get I, we can substitute back in the second equation and third equation to get what is asked in the. Okay.
2, ma'am. I is equal to 2.
Yes, I is equal to 2. That's what I think we already solved the numerical yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
But I just wanted to, yes, I just wanted to give a clarity on this part. Okay. So even if the current is not given, yes.
Means when we take the KVL, we have to consider our polarity, and while calculating the individual currents, we have to take the polarity mentioned, ma'am.
Yes. So in this case, yeah, we have to just take into consideration the polarity what they have given us. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I hope this part is clear. If you have any doubts, or still if you have doubts, you can ask.
Clear, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, so anyway, the numerical we have already solved. I'll just okay. So that is how the equations are written. I have explained up to equation number 3. Then if you're substituting equation number 2 in 1, then we have the equation everything in terms of I. So it is easy for us to solve the value of I, and the value of I is 2 ampere. Okay. Then we got the value of I. We can substitute back in equation number 2 and 3 to get Vx and V0. So we get Vx as 20 volt and V0 as minus 10 volt. Okay, so when you're getting the answer as negative, what does it mean? So here the reference convention they have given V0 is -10. So it means that actually the polarity has to be the opposite, but they have given a random value. And since they have given a random value, the answer tells that the random value what they have given is not correct. But you need not worry. You can get the answer as -10 volt. That is also accepted, which tells that the actual polarity has to be opposite to that of the polarity what they have given. That's it. Okay. Whereas for X, you're getting 10 volt, so the reference polarity what they have given is exactly correct. Whereas for V0, it has to be opposite. But in any numerical, if you're getting as positive or negative, it is still accepted. Like people can understand. If it is minus, it means that the reference polarity has to be opposite to that of the actual given value. That's it. Okay. So as we do of numericals, you will understand that. But right now, the thing what you have to keep it in mind is when you are applying a KVL, if there is no current given, you can assume a current direction and always go in the direction of the current when you are writing the voltages across each of the element. Okay. And whenever there is a passive element, always there will be a voltage drop across it. Is that fine? Is it clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. So with more numericals, we will also have more understanding. So we will move on to the next numerical. So for the circuit which is given, we have to find what is V0 and what is I0. So far we have learned KVL and KCL, and we are trying to apply KVL and KCL to these numericals to solve the given values. Okay. Okay, so here we are having all the branches in parallel. Okay, so in the previous numerical, all the branches are in series, whereas here all the branches are in parallel. So it is easy to apply KCL rather than KVL. Okay. Okay, so right now, have you copied the question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So in the case of series element, we have seen that the same current flows through all the series element, right? All the same current flows through all the series element. Yes. And what about parallel elements? If the elements are in parallel, the voltage across them will be the same. Okay, that is the first thing you have to keep it in mind. When elements are in parallel, the same voltage appears across them. Okay, so here right now we are having one independent current source 9 ampere and one dependent current source. Okay, it is a current dependent current source, and we are having two passive elements 2 ohm and 8 ohm, and the voltage drop of V0 is present across this 8 ohm. Okay, so now what we have to understand here is, since all the elements are in parallel, the same V0 is going to appear across all the elements. Okay, the same V0 is going to appear across all the element. Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all the elements has the same voltage across them. So the 9 ampere.
That all the elements have the V0 voltage, ma'am.
Yes, all the elements will have the same voltage V0 across them. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So that's the
Ma'am,
first thing.
as there is no resistor or something across like in series, so it will be the same, right?
Sorry.
Like if there is any element in this, like in series, it won't be the same, right?
Okay, yeah. If there is any element in series, say for example on this top part, if you are having any series element, then it will not be the same. But now, right now, all the elements are exactly parallel because how many nodes are here for this particular problem?
2, ma'am.
2, ma'am.
Yeah,
Only 2.
there are 2 nodes. Yes, there are 2 nodes. One on the top where all these conductors can be clubbed together, and one on the bottom where all the conductors can be clubbed together. And all the elements are exactly parallel because they are having the same 2 common nodes, right? So now the same V naught is going to appear across them. Now, what we have to do is when elements are in parallel, it is easy to go with KCL approach. Okay. So here we will consider the node at the top. Okay. We are going to consider the node at the top and we will write the KCL for this particular node. Okay. It's maybe we can write it as node A. Okay. So all the branches are connected to this node A. Correct, because there are no other elements here. All are connected parallel. Okay, so here first element, if you consider 9 ampere is entering into the node A. I naught is going out of node A. I naught by 4, the dependent source is also going out of this node A. And what about the current in this 8 ohm resistor?
It is also
Current in the
going up.
8 ohm resistor. 1/8. Yes.
It's going up, ma'am.
Yes. Since there is a voltage drop like this, it means that there has to be a current going downward. Okay. So now we can easily write the KCL equation. So how do we write the KCL equation? Current entering a given node should be equal to the current leaving that particular node. Or we can take the current entering to be positive and current leaving as negative. Okay. So the first equation will be. Okay. So I have given the equation. 9 ampere is entering, so the entering current we will take it as positive and the leaving currents we can take it as negative. Okay, so this is a convention what I am following. You can also take the other convention, whichever is convenient to you, but altogether it should be, the final concept should remain the same. Okay, so either you can equate the entering current to the leaving current, or you can take the entering current to be positive and the leaving current to be negative and sum them together, that will be equal to 0. Okay. So for the 9 ampere is entering into the node, so it is plus 9. I naught is leaving, so it is minus I naught. For the third source, I naught by 4 is leaving, so it is minus I naught by 4. And coming to the fourth element, 8 ohm, how do we compute the current? We know like V naught is given and 8 is given, so the current is nothing but V divided by 8. Following the Ohm's law, V naught divided by 8 will give the current flowing through this 8 ohm resistor. So that should be equal to 0. Yes.
At the 2 ohm resistor, we don't need to take the 2 in any.
No, we are writing KCL. No, we are writing the current. For current, we don't require the resistance unless voltage is given. So right now, I naught is already given. So we need not take into consideration the 2 ohm.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
could you explain how current leaves from the 8 ohm resistor, ma'am?
Yeah, from the 8 ohm, you see the polarity what they have given, plus minus. So we know that when it means that there is a drop, right? If you're just going with the same polarity what they have given, plus minus represents that there is a drop in the potential. So for that drop in potential, the current should enter the positive terminal and leave the negative terminal. Only then there will be a drop. So it means that current is leaving this particular node A. Okay, and the leaving current I am taking it as minus. So minus, what is the value of current? Voltage divided by the resistance. Okay. Are you able to follow?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, 9 ampere is entering. All the remaining currents are leaving, so they will get a negative sign. So minus I naught by 4, and for this particular current, we can compute based on the variable which is given. So V naught is a voltage drop. So if there has to be a voltage drop, then the current should flow down. So it is minus V naught by 8. So that is equal to 0. Okay. Now we are having a single equation, but again there are two unknowns. I0 and V0 both are unknowns. So with a single equation we cannot solve this. So solve the values. So we require one more equation. So how do we get one more equation which relates
By
I0 and V0?
keeping another node at B and writing equation.
No, even if you keep another node at B, see here, you will not get a solution because B is again like a common node. Even if you are writing
Ma'am, we
here,
should
again you will have just the same equation repeated once again. So now
Ma'am,
what we will do is,
Same repeated, ma'am.
Ma'am,
yeah,
can
we
we
will try
create
to find. Sorry.
we should
Can we
find
write
V0.
Yes, we can either find V0 or you see here, there should be one more equation which relates I0 and V0. So for that, what we can do is all these elements are in parallel to each other, right? So similar to how we are having a voltage drop of V0 across this 8 ohm, the same V0 has to appear across all the elements. Okay. And now for this 2 ohm resistor, okay, for the 2 ohm resistor also indirectly it means that there is a voltage drop across it of V0, okay, plus minus V0 will appear across this 2 ohm resistor because all the elements are in parallel, okay. So now we can make use of this for writing the second equation. So what is I0 now? The current flowing through this 2 ohm is I0. So in terms of
V0 by
V0, yes, I0 is nothing but V0 by 2.
V0 by 2.
Yes, V0 by 2. That is the second equation. Our aim is to write one more equation so that we can eliminate the
V0
or
is
we have
equal
to
to
determine the variable. Yes.
Ma'am,
Huh.
actually the potential will be same in parallel now, ma'am.
Yes.
So when it is V0 by 8 in the third branch, why don't we it same in the first branch also?
Which branch?
I mean the 2 ohm resistor branch, ma'am.
See, V0 is the same, but the current will be different, no? So the current flowing through the 2 ohm is I0, whereas the current flowing through the 8 ohm is V0 divided by 8. Current will vary in the parallel connection, right?
Yes, ma'am, got it.
Yeah. So it means that it has a different current so that the total voltage remains the same. This V0 has to remain the same across the parallel branches, but the current will vary. So the current flowing through the 8 ohm is not I0. That you have to keep it in mind, okay? The current we do not know. Only after we compute V0, we will come to know what is the current flowing through this. So now from this second equation, we are getting one more equation in terms of I0 and V0. So substitute back in the previous equation. So substitute equation number 2 in 1 and
6, ma'am.
solve for
I0 is
one
equal
of
to
the
6.
yes. Okay, so if you're either you can replace I0 or we can replace V0. So if you're replacing V0, V0 is 2I0. So if you solve this equation, we will get the value for I0. I0 is
6 amps.
yes, I0 is 6 amps. So if I0 is 6 amps, what is V0?
12 volts.
12 volts.
V0 will be 12 volts. Yes. Okay. So the voltage V0, which is 12 volt, is going to appear across all the elements, but the currents through the parallel branches are not the same. Okay. So if you want, somebody asked me the question, right? The resistances are different, so how come it will tally? Okay. So here only the voltages are the same, whereas the currents are opposite. So for I0, it is 6 ampere current is flowing, whereas for the 8 ohm resistor, how much current is flowing for the 8 ohm? It is V0 divided by 8, right? So V0 by 8 is 12 by 8 is the current. Yeah, 12 by 8. It is 3 by 2, right? So 3 by 2 ampere current is flowing through the 8 ohm, whereas 6 ampere current is flowing through the 2 ohm. So the currents are not the same across the parallel element, but the voltages are the same. Okay. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So the basic concepts you should always keep it in mind. Okay, so when the elements are in series, the same current flows through them, and when elements are in parallel, the same voltage appears across them. Yes. Okay, so if you've solved this, so now I will give you some 2-3 practice problems. So please try it at home. The solution we will discuss in the next class. Okay. So copy this question. Find see, since you are in your first year and you are all in remote places, okay, so it is actually challenging both for the teacher as well as for the student. So we are trying our best to help you. Okay. So if it is in a classroom, we can go around the classroom and find out what the students are doing. So right now, I do not have any idea about what you are doing in your home. Okay, so we assume that the students are listening to us, but really we do not have any idea about how we are actually learning the subject. Okay, there may be students who are really sincere and they will be doing. But for those students, we are really happy. But students who are not sincere, it will be really a major challenge for them. Okay. So what I suggest is, please do not take it very lightly, because all the subjects, whatever you are learning in your first semester and second semester, will act as a base for your higher semesters. Okay. Especially the circuit theory will be continued throughout till you go to your 7th semester. Because this is like a foundation subject for many of the higher semester subjects. Okay, so do not take it too lightly. Please listen to the class. Okay, do not miss any class. Always, whenever I am seeing the attendance, I am seeing out of 179, always the attendance is around 159 or 160. So it means that the remaining 20 students are not attending on a regular basis. So if you're not attending on a regular basis, it will definitely have a drastic effect at a later point of time. So even though the textbook is available to you, it is very difficult for you to learn by yourself. So when somebody is teaching, please pay attention to them, because you are spending already a huge amount for each year, right? You are paying a very good amount of fees. And definitely your parents will be striving to arrange that much amount. Okay, so do not take it very lightly. So please pay attention when we are teaching in the class. So the maximum help what we can do is first explain the concept, give numericals, and give practice problems, especially for numerical oriented subject. So when I'm giving a practice problem, I expect that the students should solve before they come for the next class. Okay. So before you solve it and come, when we are discussing the solution, you will know whether you have done it correctly or whether any mistakes have to be corrected. Okay. So please be sincere. Okay, you are all almost above 18 now, right? At least 18. So you are all responsible. You have to be responsible for yourself. So please, because nobody can force you now. So please understand the value of these things, and please take some time to solve this practice problems at home. Okay, it will not take more than 15 minutes, definitely. For each class, maybe hardly we will give you 2-3 problems. So it will take only 15-20 minutes for you to do. But if you're really doing that, definitely that will help you in a longer run. Okay. So unlike higher semesters, for first years, we are going very, very slow. We are taking a lot of care so that students will understand the concept in a more clear way. Okay, so please do the practice problems, whatever we are giving, and the answers we will definitely discuss immediately in the next class, so that you will understand the flow. Okay, even if you're making any mistakes, you can definitely rectify it. But please do the practice problems. Okay. So as a teacher, I can only give you advice, but the action you have to take it. Okay. And once you get a grip of the subject, any numericals you can easily solve it. Even if when you come to higher semesters, all these things when it comes, it becomes very, very easy for you to grab the subject. Okay. So this is like it is like learning the foundation of mathematics, the basic addition, subtraction. If you learn, when you grow up, it becomes easier. Okay, so rather than again learning it at a later point of time. So please take it sincerely and to do the numericals. Okay, so this is the first practice problem. Here we can see that all the elements are in series. So the same current is going to flow through them. So take a random direction for current, maybe in the clockwise direction. Write the KVL equation and relate this Vx with respect to the current. You will get one more equation and that will help you to solve the value for Vx. Okay. So the next numerical is okay. So here for this numerical, have you copied it? So again, this is a practice problem. Okay, so
Yes,
the problem numbers I'm giving, so the same numbers we can follow for the practice problem, so that when we discuss the solution, it becomes easier. Okay, so here we are having two sources where the direction of current is already given, and we are having two elements in series. Okay, and if you're going to apply here, applying KCL is more convenient because already the sources are in parallel to each other. Okay, so now for these two sources, you will not have any difficulty in writing the KCL. So I will give you a hint for writing the current for this, the first element. So how do we write? So these two elements, both the 10 ohms are in series with each other, right? So when they are in series, it means that the same current has to flow through them, right? When they are in series, the same current has to flow through them. Now, we do not know what is the voltage drop across the first 10 ohm, but we know what is the voltage drop across the second 10 ohm. Okay. So if, say for example, if the current is I, okay, if the current flowing through this branch is I, based on this V0, we can write I is equal to V0 divided by 10,
10.
right? Yes, V0 divided by 10. So when the current is flowing through this 10 ohm, there is a drop. So the reference polarity what they have given is exactly correct. So I is nothing but V0 divided by 10. So make use of this as a hint for solving the V0 in this particular circuit. Okay, so this is a...
Ma'am, there are two resistors in series.
Yeah, even though they are in series, the same current has to flow through them, right? The current through them is going to remain the same, but we have only the information about V0. So for the current flowing through this 10 ohm resistor, based on Ohm's law, what is V0? V0 is nothing but I times 10, right?
Ma'am, in case if there is a different resistance, ma'am, like 10 ohm and 5 ohm like that.
Even if it is 5 ohm and 10 ohm, the same current flows through them.
Ma'am,
When they are in
voltage,
series, the voltage across the different. Sorry?
ma'am, when there is 5 ohm and 10 ohm, current will be same, voltage differs.
Yes, voltage will differ. Okay, so here it is V0. For the other resistor, depending on the value of resistance, you have another voltage. Okay, so for elements in series, voltages across each elements will vary unless the resistance is the same. Okay, if the resistance is the same, maybe we will have the same voltage. But if at all, if you are having a 5 ohm and a 10 ohm, the same current flows through, so it will be different. Okay.
Ma'am,
So when you are writing a nodal equation at the top node, sorry.
Ma'am, when there is like 5 ohm and 2 ohm, which one we have to take, ma'am? Like V0 by 5 or V0 by 2, ma'am?
No, it depends which V0 you are considering. So for this given numerical, V0 is given across this 10 ohm. So this current, if you are taking, it is V0 divided by 10. If at all V0, say for example, instead of 10 ohm, if they are giving you 5 ohm, then you take V equal to 5 times I. Okay. So here V naught is a variable which we have to find, and if you see this particular circuit, we are having a voltage dependent current source also. So that is the reason why they are asking you to find V naught. So this the value of this current is affected by this particular voltage. So whatever we get for V naught, twice of that particular V naught gives us the current. The voltage dependent current source. Okay, so you just try this numerical. If you have any doubts, we will discuss in the next class. But try to complete it. Try to get the value for V naught. And I'll give you one more practice problem. So this you have to think and do it. Okay, so it is based on both KVL and KCL concept. So wherever you have to apply KVL, you apply KVL. I think with the KVL only we can solve this. There is no need for KCL. So when you practice, you will have more confidence. Okay, everything comes with practice. So here for this, the next problem also, by applying KVL, we can easily solve this, and we can get easily the value for V and Ix. And for the attendance part, maybe I think rather than giving you the forms link, there is an option available in Teams for us to check whether you are present or absent for the class, called as Insights. So with that, we will be able to track the attendance of the students. So we will not be giving you the forms link for filling the attendance. Okay, so directly I'll take the attendance from that particular thing. So your complete attendance will be recorded directly in the Teams. Okay. So these are the 3 questions which is given as a practice problem. So please, even if there is a mistake, it is fine. Okay, we will definitely learn with mistakes. It's not necessary that everything has to be correct, but please try by. Okay. So here for this particular numerical, there are 2 loops. For each of the loop, you write the KVL equation. Okay. For each loop, write the KVL equation and then try to find V and Ix. Okay, so with this, we will wind up today's discussion. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.